I really don't like the phrase of the apple falling too. Well, the way that it says it is it says that an apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. The only problem I have, or the main problem that I have with that, is that when the apple falls from the tree, it's independent of the tree. Yes, the roots of the tree are determining if it's a good tree or bad tree. And whatever's produced from a good tree, hypothetically or in theory, it'll be good. If it's a bad tree, if it's a tree that wasn't treated well, if it wasn't didn't have the right nutrients, whatever have you, then we predict or we can predict that it's going to be a bad tree. The only difference or one thing that I see about that is that we're not an apple. We're not apples. Apples don't have lungs. Apples don't have eyes. Apples don't have legs. Apples don't have a heart. Apples don't have a brain. So why are we comparing ourselves to something that doesn't have exactly what we have? We have all of these things to help us make the right decisions. And most importantly, what's in our heart is what dictates our actions. I don't care what we've been through in our lives. It does not predict what we can do to stop it. Just because I lived in a household that was abusive doesn't give me an excuse to be abusive to other people. It doesn't give me the license to hurt people because I'm unwilling to deal with my hurt. I have a brain, I have the knowledge, I have the ability to hear God talking to me, telling me, letting me know, encouraging me that it stops with me. And it takes for me to buy into that, to be in agreement that I have the ability to stop these things. Just because I grew up where there were substance abuse issues or any other types of issues that were in my household doesn't mean that because those were my roots that I have to become this bad apple, so to speak. Listen, there's hard work that's out there. The hard work is us dealing with us. And it just comes down to, are we willing to deal with us and know that we're independent of whatever tree we decide to come from? And the tree is representative of our families. The tree is representative of our foundation. But we're independent of the tree the moment that we snap from it. Are we disconnecting from our tree, whether it's a good tree or a bad tree? Whether it's a normal tree, but then we have to think about what is normal, or it's a unorthodox tree, a tree that didn't quite grow up in the right environments. Regardless of what the environment is, we become independent of it as soon as we break away from those areas, as soon as we break away from that environment, as soon as we break away from the bad foundation, we still can grow. Much like an apple, pretty much if it's good or bad to begin with, we can predict it to be good or bad. We have the ability to change because anatomically we're different than an apple. So we don't have to be the apple. We're not the apple because we have the parts, we have the wills and skills to make a change. Will we be that change? Or will we accept the fact that we're apples?